I'm Kaylee Evans. Welcome to my channel, Social Care Connections. I hope you enjoy the video.
We went back last year to my brother's old university, De Montfort in Leicester, and we spoke to students, youth workers and student social workers. And we feel that we need to be more of a voice in these avenues, because if you have a passion to go and work with young people, if you want to be a social worker or a youth worker, you need to understand the real world, that it's going to take a lot of resilience, a lot of patience and a lot of giving before you get anything back. And we loved going in at that level, because we feel if you're a student, you need to hear that these are the real worlds people are living.
Definitely, definitely. So is there anyone sort of doing what you're doing? I'm just wondering, what area are you in? Sorry.
So we're in a place called Shrewsbury, which is in Shropshire, about an hour away from Birmingham. I don't know really. I know there's a few people on their own, obviously, that have grown up in care that do speaking. There's a guy called Nick Barwick who's absolutely amazing, and we interviewed him over on our Instagram, because we created our own kind of Smash Life kind of speaking sessions over COVID, just to really connect with people. And he's absolutely brilliant, care experienced, and he sets up mentoring programs within councils. He mentors himself. He does speaking and group work, and he's basically like us, really. Got the same kind of personality and can-do approach, and it's lovely. And I think if someone has felt that rejected from being in care and the system, but want to go back and actually make things better, we should welcome them, with open arms.
Oh, definitely. So what would you say has made you resilient?
So I had to be from a very young age, and I found that I was quite obsessive with my sport. And, I was running about 10 to 12 miles a day, age 16, with bin bags on, because the messages from my foster carers were saying that you're ugly, you're overweight, you're this, you're that. I wasn't, but it was just their way of that emotional abuse. But as a child, what do? You take that as gospel. So for me, part of my obsession has become my savior as well. And, even during lockdown, I've run 99 miles so far, and I'll go out at 9 o'clock at night and just go for a quick hour. And that's what I say to children that we work with. Listen, you have choices, and that's identify. I always say to them, who can you identify that's there for you, that you can really relate to in your school? Maybe, bang, that teacher, right? You go to that teacher every time you go to that teacher. 2, what do you love doing? Come on, let's go and explore it. And, if we can help you through Smash Life, and, if it's the gym, if we can pay for a gym membership for you, if we can get a PT, let's go and do it. Let's stop making excuses and throw ourselves into it. So it's positive diversions and hobbies, really.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think that's so important, and that's sometimes the bit that we need to focus on, because if people have meaning in life and fulfillment, everything sort of goes better, doesn't it? Yeah. So you've got in terms of you and your brother now, like I can see that you're spending more time together. You post things of you on the beach. I saw that the other day. That was nice. So
yeah.
I suppose it's the connections with people around you as well.
Yeah, and we've got an older brother as well, but he's got Asperger's. And in 1990, when we were placed with our abusive carers, our older brother Richard had to go to Newtown, which is in Wales, with specialist carers, and he suffered. In the last year, they both died, so he suffered quite a lot of loss. So myself and Matt have been there for him. And when we talk about the real journeys of children in care, and when they leave care, suddenly that support stops. Myself and Matt didn't really speak in our 20s, because as children we had to kind of fight against each other, have arranged fights. There was a lot of kind of resentment, jealousy, all these natural feelings which are going to develop if you are living in an environment which is going to bring out that hate. And one thing we did have really mutual was our jobs. So we were both working with children. It's been a constant for us, that empathy, wanting to help others and feeling the real journeys they're going through. And I think it was a couple of years ago, my brother was working for a safeguarding in the local authority, trying to keep families together. And we just said, you know what? We're better together, let's do it. And Matt is just basically a year older version of me. You'll be like, wow, if you ever see him, because he's got that energy.
Yeah.
And, we like this morning, he's rung me up and said, Andy, can I do this? I'm like, yeah, brilliant. Go and do it.
Interesting that you've sort of like, even though you've had these separate lives, that you've come together and you are so similar in that way.
Yeah, and you know what? When we do our talks on stage and we go around the UK and do our talks, there might be something Matt says that will really resonate with me, or I'll think, wow, God, in that situation, perhaps I didn't handle it well, or perhaps he might have felt this way. You know, for instance, I went into quite a loving family at 16, and my brother was just literally sofa surfing and with, you know, people that didn't really seem to care. It was just like, there's your room, you tease at this time, you got your key, I don't really want to hear from you. So he was quite jealous of where I was in, and he admits that now. But that doesn't bring resentment now. We talk about it. So in effect, it's kind of like a bit of therapy we're both going through when we're talking about our journey.
Yeah, oh, that's lovely. I think it's really nice that you've come together like that. So yeah, just overall, really, as a last thing, what would you say would be your main points to social services in general about the messages that you'd give, really?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, connection and relationships are key. It's about not your agenda. It's about understanding the real worlds of these children. When I do hear some flippant comments sometimes, like, not my problem, and things like that, and it makes me feel really sad, because I just think, gosh, there's a child here. This is a real life. And I always come back to the same point. If it was your own child, how would you feel? And every child that I work with, I have this pretty much the same affection as I do my own children, and I will go above and beyond for these children. I think it's about, I don't know, are you doing enough as well? You know, can you really say, you know, I've done enough and I'm really championing for that child? And if that means sometimes going against, you know, rules and regulations and having them conversations, knocking on your manager's door, then please do it, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're talking about a life here, and you champion that child might just make that difference.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely brilliant advice. I really appreciate you talking to me. If you enjoyed the video, please can you like and subscribe and press the bell if you'd like to be updated when I put out more videos. Thank you.